What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, like and subscribe. I can see that 98% of you watch my videos and don't subscribe. Even if just half of you hit that subscribe button, it'll help me out. And then, if half of you hit that like button, it'll help me out. It'll just help my video, beat the algorithm and get out there a little more. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm wanting to do more things to the Mustang, but I don't want to, waste my time doing stuff to the Mustang if nobody's gonna see it. With that being said, today's video is just kind of comparing a Challenger I used to have with the Mustang that I have now, and talking about a few different things, the differences between them, what was better, what's worse, just a couple differences. The cars, they are similar. So the Challenger that I had was a RT Plus. It's pretty much an RT with the leather package, the heating and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, the full package that you can get. The trim, I guess I would compare that trim level. It's similar to what my Mustang is. Price-wise, I think the Challenger is a lot less brand new than the Mustang, and I believe that's just due to the power difference. Mustang makes 450 horsepower, the Challenger made 375. I think that's where the price difference is made up. But with that being said, let's jump into what I liked. Let's start off with the driving experience with both. We'll start off with the handling. The Challenger actually did not handle bad. It took corners fairly well. I will say the Mustang takes corners a whole lot better than the Challenger. That's just because the Mustang's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more track ready than the Challenger RT. I don't know. I haven't driven any Scat Packs or Hellcats or anything like that, so I don't know how those compare. But the Mustang GT with the RT, the handling is definitely better in the Mustang. The ride comfort was better in the Challenger. If my goal was to have a nice V8 car with a nice sounding engine and exhaust, and it looked cool and was kind of quick, I would go with the Challenger just before the ride comfort. It was a whole lot smoother. It didn't have, the performance suspension that the Mustang has in it. The Mustang ride is a lot more stiff. That's where it handles a little bit better in the corners. But the ride quality in that Challenger, it was really smooth. The steering in the Challenger, I think you got a lot more feeling out of the steering wheel in the Challenger than you do the Mustang. But Mustangs are known for having that numb feeling steering wheel. That's one of the downsides to, I guess, the Mustang, is the way that steering wheel feels. Power-wise, Mustang, going from the Challenger to the Mustang, it's a night and day difference. The power that the Mustang puts down compared to that RT is ridiculous. Like, it just gets up and goes compared to that. And I thought my Challenger was fast. My Mustang would walk that Challenger. It's honestly, like, if you're buying a car for speed and power, the Challenger RT is not for that. The Challenger RT is for somebody who wants a V8 that sounds good as a daily driver. And the reason I say that is because the Challenger, at least the one I had, I don't know if they're all the same, but the Challenger RT, it has this eco mode built into it, so when you're cruising on the highway, it cuts off half the cylinders, so it goes into 4-cylinder mode, I guess, and it saves gas. So like, my Mustang is averaging 20 miles per gallon right now, and that's highway miles. My Challenger, between town and highway driving, was averaging 22 to 24 miles per gallon. If I did just highway, I could get 30 out of it. That's why I just think if you're looking for a daily commuter, Challenger RT is the one to go with, because it's loud. It's got a good sounding exhaust. It's got a V8 in it. and they can be fast. I mean, you got to put a little work into them, but they're fast enough from factory, in my opinion. I'm not the type that I need 1,000 horsepower to have fun. The 375 was plenty for me, and the 450 in the Mustang is definitely enough for me to have fun in it. With that being said, we can kind of compare the performance of them. The brakes, honestly, I think even if you bought a V6 Challenger, you would want big brakes because they are such heavy vehicles. But my RT, it had small brakes. Like it didn't have Brembos or nothing. I mean, I don't know what size they are, but they were small, especially compared to my Mustang. I think the Mustangs, they all come with Brembos from the factory, at least in the front. They have 6-piston brakes in the front and then 4-piston in the rear. And they are Brembos. I did my research on it. They are Brembos. They're just unbranded. They're just that, what would you call it? They're just primed. You could pull them off and paint them. But they are Brembos. They're big brakes, big rotors. And so I think the Challenger is lacking in the brake department if you were to get an RT. And I think mine had, when I got rid of my Challenger, it had 60,000 miles on it. And the brakes were already, like, if you hit them when you're doing 80 miles an hour, they would vibrate. Just because the car's so heavy and wore them down so fast and heated them up. I haven't had that out of the Mustang. A Mustang can stop on a dime if I needed to. Next, I guess, would be the exhaust. Honestly, this might shock some of you, but I preferred the sound of my Challenger over the Mustang. And I'll play a clip of the Challenger and then the Mustang right here. But I honestly preferred the Challenger had a deeper, low rumble tone than the Mustang. The Mustang's a little bit slightly higher pitched, and most people go get that Corsa Extreme, which makes it a lot more higher pitched. And honestly, I think it sounds like that's just me. I prefer the factory exhaust from Ford. It's got a deeper tone to it, and if I were going to do aftermarket, I would probably do Roush or Borla, just because I enjoy that deeper tone of a muscle car. If I wanted a higher pitch sound, I'd go buy an EcoBoost. That's just my opinion. You can roast me for that or not. Obviously, another performance difference is the power. Mustang puts down 450 horsepower, probably somewhere around 400 to the wheel. Challenger 375, somewhere around 315 to the wheel. My Mustang is manual. The Challenger was an 8-speed auto, which honestly, the Challenger with it being an 8-speed auto, it wasn't bad because you could hit the sport button in it and it would drop it down to where it only had 6 gears. So you got a little bit more power out of the gears. And it was fun. I did like daily driving the Challenger because it wasn't automatic, but most of my daily driving is the highway, so the manual doesn't bother me because I just stay in 6th gear the whole time. I think with my driving, I think the Challenger could probably keep up with me from a start in the Mustang, but the Mustang would still, just destroy it. I think if there was more of a professional driver in the Mustang, it would blow it out of the water. Like I said, Challenger had the Eco Mood. Factory-wise, straight from the factory, tires, the Challenger had such skinny tires. I've never seen a car that looked like it skipped leg day until I had this Challenger. Mustang, at least from factory, it comes with 265s, and even on top of that, you can put 275s. I believe the Challenger had 245s on it, and that was that tire is not wide at all. Could not get grip. And now that I'm thinking about it, the Challenger, what is it? Don't let me get this backwards. Had an open differential where only one tire spun. So if you try to do a burnout, you're only going to get one tire to spin. That's one of the downsides of it. I mean, who wants a sports car where you can't do a burnout or do a donut? Mustang, obviously, both tires spin. Here's a clip of that.
That happened.
I will start with the gauges in the car. So I have the digital gauge in the Mustang. The Challenger, I mean, it had that little centerpiece digital gauge where it showed you the speed. I still actually think I preferred the gauges in the Challenger. I think they just looked more refined. They looked more clean and crisp. I like the little red accent inside the gauges. I think it was just a little bit more of a simple setup than what Ford has going on in the Mustang. Even, the newer Dark Horse coming out, that big, huge screen, I think that's just, in my opinion, over the top. I think they could have just updated the center screen the way it is now and just made it a little bit more customizable for people, and maybe updated the center radio to be like that iPad style that's like in the Ford Explorer or the Mustang Mach-E. And I think they would have been good with that, and then just the body stuff that they did. That's why I think the Challenger is a little bit more refined interior. The seats, though, the leather in the Mustang is a lot softer than the leather in the Challenger was, and I actually prefer the softer leather. It's got a more comfortable feel. The seats in the Mustang hug you more like a race seat than the Challenger seats did. The Challenger seats were more just like, I don't know how to explain it, luxurious, or they weren't really race seats. They didn't hug you performance-wise. And even in the Mustang, you can opt in for Recaro seats. I don't think you can do that in a Challenger RT. Maybe in like the higher trim levels, you can do that. The radio, Dodge, I don't think anybody can top Dodge's stereo system in their cars. My Mustang, it doesn't have, I think it's B&O, but I'm not sure. It's not the 12-speaker system. It's the 9-speaker, which I think is bullshit when you're paying for the top trim level Mustang and you have to pay extra to get the upgraded stereo system. And when I ordered my Mustang, they didn't even offer the 12-speaker system. The Challenger, on the other hand, I bought it off the dealership. Challenger was used, by the way, so but I bought it off the dealership, and it came with an Alpine system in it. Like, it came with an Alpine system that sounded so good that I had no intentions of upgrading the radio, nothing. In the Mustang, the Mustang has bass, and it's loud, but it's not Alpine. So I think Dodge has definitely topped Ford in that aspect. The Challenger did anyways. I know that I think the trucks come with Bose or Beats. Don't quote me on that. I think some of them come with Harman Kardon. So I think you can get different options, but the Alpine option in the Challenger was A1. For the most part, these cars had the same features, though. Heated steering wheel, heated and cooled seats. Actually, I don't think the Challenger had cooled seats, if I'm thinking about it. I don't remember it having cooled seats. It could have. But anyways, they pretty much had the same features. Challenger was remote start, obviously, because it was automatic. Can't get remote start in a manual. I don't know why. Just put a safety feature in the car where it has to be a neutral to remote start it. That simple. Blind spots, I would say both cars, I haven't had any trouble with blind spots. I test drove a Camaro, and that's the only sports car I've driven that you can't see shit. So the Challenger and the Mustang both have the blind spot alert, the light that pops up in the mirror, so no problem there. Backup cameras. Mustang does have rear sensors, so it beeps when you're backing up. Challenger didn't have any of that. It just had the camera, which honestly, if you have the camera, I don't see why you need the beeping. That's just my opinion. The exterior, both cars had upgraded wheels on them from factory, optioned wheels. I have 20-inch. I think they're alloy wheels. The Challenger had the graphite, the dark gray wheels. Honestly, I like them both. I can't tell you which one I like more over the other. The gray looks good on the Mustang because it's silver and it goes good. The dark gray looked good on the Challenger because it was white and it looked good. You can't go wrong with either or. The skinny tires, like I said earlier on the Challenger, I think Dodge, I know it's the smaller V8, only 375 horsepower, but it's still a V8. I still think you need a little bit more rubber on the rear tires and a little bit bigger brakes for a car that heavy. Panel gaps, the Challenger had a little bit more panel gaps than the Mustang did, but the paint looked better on the Challenger. And I think that's just due to the Challenger wasn't metallic paint, it was just straight white. The Mustang is metallic, and so I think that might be the difference, but I do know Ford's paint quality has been lacking in these past few years. People have had a lot of problems with them. And I mean, those are really the only differences that I can think to talk about, just because those are kind of the things I focus on. Obviously, the Mustang's faster. Challenger's a better ride quality. You got to choose what you want, pretty much. If you're wanting a fast car, something fun to daily drive, Mustang. If you're wanting a good sounding car that can be a little bit quick with a good ride comfort and a sports car, I would do the Challenger RT. Don't ask me about the Charger RT because I don't know. My dad had a Daytona at one point, and that was a fun car to drive. I like the Challenger better. Some people like the Charger better. I just like the two-door coupe thing. But honestly, for the price difference, I think the Challenger is around 35 to 40. The Challenger RT might even be 30. And the Mustang GT Premium starts out around 45. It can be anywhere between 45 to 55 depending on what options you get. But with that price difference comes more power, better performance out of the car, better handling. You do get the louder exhaust from factory in the Mustang. Even though the Challenger sounds good, the Mustang is louder. And there's a few more options that come with the Mustang that you can't get in the Challenger RT. But the Challenger RT, like I said, it does have the better ride quality if all you're looking for is a fun sports car to daily drive and still have something comfortable. And the back seat in the Challenger is bigger. I can fit, maybe some smaller people back in the back seat of the Challenger. I can't fit anybody in the back seat of the Mustang. Like, I don't think a 2-year-old could fit in the back seat of the Mustang. So if you're wanting a sports car and you're still wanting to drive your friends around, I would probably look at the Challenger or the Charger. I think the Camaro backseat is similar to the Mustang. But that's my 2 cents on the Challenger versus the Mustang. I owned them both. If I missed anything that you guys wanted to know, I'll reply to your comments. But I think that's about it. I mean, leave a like, subscribe, help me out. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm wanting to, do more stuff to the car, but I don't want to waste my time and money if nobody's going to see it. So just subscribe. I mean, give me some likes, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.